Call to order the Solano Community College District Governing Board meeting of October 16th, 2024. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please call the roll.
President Honeychurch,
Here?
Trustee Cargo Reed,
Here.
Trustee Kara,
Here.
Trustee Lopez Lara,
Here.
Trustee Thurston,
Here.
Trustee Young, Trustee Boyce,
Here.
Student Trustee Srinivasan.
We'll move on to number 4, approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor of approving the agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Agenda is approved. Next item is item 5 on the agenda, which is comments from members of the public regarding closed session. Are there any requests to speak?
No.
If not, we'll recess for closed session, then reconvene the regular meeting at 7 o'clock.
I'm Andre Williams. I'm the lab tech at Solano Community College for welding in the CTE department. I went to Solano, I got my 2-year degree in mechatronics, and then I got hired here probably about a year after that. I think the program's good. We have a lot of equipment here, different shears, iron workers, we have a plasma table, plasma cutters, saws. We can do all different processes of welding from TIG, stick to MIG. So we have it all here. So we have real good relationships with the unions. So if you come here, finish some classes, get at least a certificate, you should be able to get into the door almost any union. So if you want to get into welding, no matter if it's a career path or something you want to do around home, this is a place we have all the stuff you can do and learn, and we'll teach it all. Solano Community College is the place for you.
If you're interested in the CIS programs or any CTE programs such as robotics or auto tech or welding, get in contact with us. You can send me an email and I will definitely get back to you. If you email me, I will get back to you within 24 hours and set up a time where we can meet and we can discuss the various programs that we have to offer. I know that Solano College has something for every high schooler in Solano County. There's no doubt about it. It's just that we want to have the opportunity to train you and to teach you so you can grow and enhance your ability to get gainful employment, but not only that, to be a continuous learner.
Hi, I'm Ruth Fuller, and I'm a librarian here at Solano Community College, and I want to welcome you to our new Library and Learning Resources building. This library has been built for you. We have many areas for you to study in, from quiet, silent areas to reservable group study rooms, as well as large tables for you to study and work together. We have a textbook reserve collection that holds the textbooks for most, if not all, of your classes. We have computers for you to use. We have laptops that you can check out and take home. We have calculators for you to use with your math courses. We have bones that you can use with your science courses. You can get further information at www.solano.edu/library. This is our virtual library where all of our virtual library services are available, including chat service with our college librarians. Also on this page, you have access to our article databases for scholarly research, as well as our popular magazine service, where you can actually flip through magazines like Sports Illustrated or Time Magazine. We have our ebook collections, we have our film databases, and many, many other resources for you to use for your school needs as well as for fun. Our librarians and staff are here to help you with all of your research needs.
Yeah, I think that the opportunity we have here at Solano to get involved in our advanced manufacturing program is spectacular. I can't emphasize there's nowhere else in California you can work with hands-on this amount of equipment, this different types of equipment, automation equipment, robotics equipment. It is a standout program that we have here that's unlike any others in our region, and it will lead you to a rewarding career. I have all my students, getting jobs without a problem. You usually get to pick which jobs they want. I can't emphasize enough how a program like this can just really yield a great, successful career. If you want more information, please contact me. Again, Douglas Green, my email address, douglas.green, just like the color, @solano.edu. Hope to see you here.
I stand.
I stand.
I stand.
I stand against hate.
I will.
I will.
I will.
I will be an advocate for social justice.
In the fight against racism and hate.
In the fight against racism and hate.
In the fight against racism and hate.
I will support diversity, equity, and inclusion.
В борьбе с расизмом и ненавистью я буду бороться всегда, стискивая кулаки и сглатывая слезы.
In the fight against racism and hate.
In the fight against racism and hate. In the fight against racism and hate. If necessary, I will get into good trouble.
Sa paglaban ng rasismo, hindi ako tatahimik.
In the fight against racism and hate.
In the fight against racism and hate.
In the fight against racism and hate, I will speak my truth.
I will not be silent.
I will prioritize community.
I will be an advocate.
In the fight against racism and hate,
we commit to doing better, to being bolder, and to contributing to a climate where hate is unacceptable and mindfulness and compassion are the norms.
We are Solano College.
I'm Andre Williams. I'm the lab tech at Solano Community College for welding in the CTE department. I went to Solano, I got my 2-year degree in mechatronics, and then I got hired here probably about a year after that. I think the program's good. We have a lot of equipment here, different shears, iron workers, we have a plasma table, plasma cutters, saws. We can do all different processes of welding from TIG, stick to MIG. So we have it all here. So we have real good relationships with the unions. So if you come here, finish some classes, get at least a certificate, you should be able to get into the door almost any union. So if you want to get into welding, no matter if it's a career path or something you want to do around home, you know, this is a place we have all the stuff you can do and learn, and we'll teach it all. Solano Community College is the place for you.
If you're interested in the CIS programs or any CTE programs such as robotics or auto tech or welding, get in contact with us. You can send me an email and I will definitely get back to you. If you email me, I will get back to you within 24 hours and set up a time where we can meet and we can discuss the various programs that we have to offer. I know that Solano College has something for every high schooler in Solano County. There's no doubt about it. It's just that we want to have the opportunity to train you and to teach you so you can grow and enhance your ability to get gainful employment, but not only that, to be a continuous learner.
Hi, I'm Ruth Fuller, and I'm a librarian here at Solano Community College, and I want to welcome you to our new Library and Learning Resources building. This library has been built for you. We have many areas for you to study in, from quiet, silent areas to reservable group study rooms, as well as large tables for you to study and work together. We have a textbook reserve collection that holds the textbooks for most, if not all, of your classes. We have computers for you to use. We have laptops that you can check out and take home. We have calculators for you to use with your math courses. We have bones that you can use with your science courses. You can get further information at www.solano.edu/library. This is our virtual library where all of our virtual library services are available, including chat service with our college librarians. Also on this page, you have access to our article databases for scholarly research, as well as our popular magazine service, where you can actually flip through magazines like Sports Illustrated or Time Magazine. We have our ebook collections, we have our film databases, and many, many other resources for you to use for your school needs as well as for fun. Our librarians and staff are here to help you with all of your research needs.
Yeah, I think that the opportunity we have here at Solano to get involved in our advanced manufacturing program is spectacular. I can't emphasize there's nowhere else in California you can work with hands-on this amount of equipment, this different types of equipment, automation equipment, robotics equipment. It is a standout program that we have here that's unlike any others in our region, and it will lead you to a rewarding career. I have all my students, getting jobs without a problem. You usually get to pick which jobs they want. I can't emphasize enough how a program like this can just really yield a great successful career. If you want more information, please contact me. Again, Douglas Green, my email address, douglas.green, just like the color, @solano.edu. Hope to see you here.
I stand.
I stand.
I stand.
I stand against hate.
I will.
I will.
I will.
I will be an advocate for social justice.
In the fight against racism and hate.
In the fight against racism and hate.
In the fight against racism and hate.
I will support diversity, equity, and inclusion.
В борьбе с расизмом и ненавистью я буду бороться всегда, стискивая кулаки и сглатывая слезы.
In the fight against racism and hate.
In the fight against racism and hate. In the fight against racism and hate, if necessary, I will get into good trouble.
Sa paglaban ng rasismo, hindi ako tatahimik.
In the fight against racism and hate.
In the fight against racism and hate.
In the fight against racism and hate, I will speak my truth.
I will not be silent.
I will prioritize community.
I will be an advocate.
In the fight against racism and hate,
We commit to doing better, to being bolder, and to contributing to a climate where hate is unacceptable and mindfulness and compassion are the norms.
We are Solano College.
So I think we have to wait till 7, right?
We do. And we do have the,
Oh, here, is this it? Oh, you said cards, now we have,
yeah, well, we made it so that they didn't have to come in and get it.
so are they gonna be here or they?
Yeah, they're here.
Oh, okay. o'clock. At this time, we'll reconvene the regular meeting. And the first item is report of action in closed session. There was no action taken in closed session. Next item is item 9, comments from members of the public. And there is a request to speak from Lene Jaimes and Michael Wiley. So welcome.
We're just going to let the students handle this.
Hello? Hello? Is that working? Okay.
Go ahead.
Right, hi. My name is Grant Von Pine. I'm an English major pursuing huh? Okay. Standing by. It's okay. Ready? Okay. My name is Grant Von Pine. I am an English major currently pursuing a master's in technical writing. I am the vice president of communication for the Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society here at the Beta Mu Gamma chapter here at Solano County, obviously. And okay. Phi Theta Kappa is an international honor society for a 2-year college. Solano College's chapter was established in 2003. Our members must attain a GPA of 3.5 or higher to join and be active members. Active members of Beta Mu Gamma, that's the name label of our chapter, dedicate themselves to leadership, scholarship, community service, and fellowship. We are a very active club that contributes to student life by hosting events and collaborating with other campus clubs. In addition to smaller activities like a bone marrow registry and a book drive, we complete 2 larger projects each year in order to maintain our 5-star chapter status. We are here today to share information about our Honors in Action project at our college project. The PTK, Phi Theta Kappa Honors in Action, is a research project that results in actionable items as its showcase with the goal of serving our immediate communities. This year, we collaborated with the Department of English and its literary magazine, Sassoon Valley Review, which you guys just got passed out to you. Published pieces composed by the rising scholars who are currently incarcerated students of Solano College at CMF prison. And we are now planning on campus event to highlight these authors and their works. As part of this event, we will assess the impact of these works on preconceived stereotypes of incarcerated individuals. For this event, our chapter is working in collaboration with the departments of Ethnic Studies, Social Justice, and History. We also work closely with the rising scholars, Phi Theta Kappa students, and the coordinators for correctional education. We would like to invite you guys to our event on Thursday, November 7th from 2:30 to 3:30 in the lobby of the library, so you can see what it's all about. It's pretty interesting stuff, as you'll see when you read. We have a copy of the Sassoon Valley. Well, it's already been passed out, so anyways, that's all I have at this point in time.
Hi there, my name's Josh. I'm a pre-nursing major here at Solano, and I'm also the vice president of the college project. I'd like to talk to you for a minute about that. Our college project for this semester is, of course, in congruence with the Phi Theta Kappa Foundation. We would like to, it's designed to educate our communities about the causes, symptoms, the causes, signs, and interventions of an opioid overdose, and equip the affected individuals of the project to administer life-saving Narcan to reverse an overdose. We are collaborating with our EMT faculty in order to train our Phi Theta Kappa students to be trainers, so that administration like yourself, faculty, students, anyone who wants to come to our event can be trained in the administration of Narcan and the recognition of an overdose. I'd like to share with you for a minute a couple facts about overdose in our country. Few U.S. communities remain untouched by the opioid overdose crisis. Back in 2022 rather, 224 people were dying every single day from opioid overdose. Overdose death have increased tenfold over the past 25 years. It was said that fentanyl is the leading cause of death for adults ages 18 to 45. With that in mind, we've been collaborating with anyone we can, and that includes the faculty here, the EMT professors, and graciously, we've collaborated with College Superintendent President Butler has collaborated with us in order to make this possible. We'd like to invite everyone here to come to our event on November 22nd from 10:30 to 12:30 in the cafeteria in order to be trained and equipped with Narcan to be prepared in the case of an emergency. Thank you for your time, and we welcome any questions.
Thanks for your comments. All right, questions? Quinn?
Yeah, I do have a question. Besides our public safety department, is there places on campus that students can access Narcan?
So with this program, we will have other locations. So we are collaborating with Phi Theta Kappa to train a broad cadre of students, faculty, staff on campus so that we can have access to the Narcan, and I think they can speak to that as well. But we are also, I think they also shared they want to partner with community organizations as well that are serving the county. So it's allowing us the opportunity to have more locations on campus, but also throughout the community.
And Josh and I were just speaking about our Basic Needs Center, that he's going to be attending a Basic Needs event in Vallejo and share the training. And then I just spoke to him that we'll contact Basic Needs and see if, and speak with Dr. Butler too, because we wanted to make sure it was okay that maybe we have some available in the Basic Needs Center. And that would probably be a good location for it.
I think you would have my support for sure. Even though our public safety officers are incredibly friendly, that is sometimes not the person that someone wants to tell that there's an overdose happening, right? Yeah.
This is brilliant. Thank you very much. I wanted to ask you, the last time I was in Vallejo when we had an event, they were giving out Narcan for free. And I was wondering, is it easy to get? Is it expensive? Telling people that might be listening at home how they can have access to Narcan? We all, as parents, could, use some help.
So Narcan is available over the counter. Calling it affordable would maybe be assumptive of people's income, but more importantly, the state does have a federal program called the Narcan Distribution Program that I think most likely organizations like you're talking about, like the one in Vallejo, I think that was at the waterfront.
No, this one was actually on our campus.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we'd love to take this to Vallejo and maybe even Vacaville going forward. But the state does facilitate this kind of an event by providing Narcan for free to us to use.
Okay. Maybe, I know that I've kind of toured the bathrooms that we have here, and we have free tampons and we have free other things. It would be nice maybe if we think about putting them in the bathrooms too. Just more options for everybody. Thank you.
Yeah, I just very quickly, a couple of things that we've learned, and I think that's a wonderful idea, and just finding ways that we can make Narcan available and to make it available in a nuanced sort of way. In working with the state of California, we were able to solicit some, but it would, if the college is interested in being able to host a lot, that those kinds of numbers, then there's a burden of proof on the part of the college to make sure that we have the capacity to store it and to take care of it. So I think there's a limit of 200 units one can solicit for free without that burden of proof. So that may be something that we can converse about. And I'm confident that would be a project that our students with Phi Theta Kappa would be very interested in working with administration to make happen.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, thanks. Any other questions or comments? If not, thanks very much to Michael Wiley and Jaime's for their presentation and your students as well. So there's no kidding, this is a serious problem. I've seen it in my work, what the effects can be, and it only takes a small amount of fentanyl to be lethal, and people don't know what they're taking.
I have something
Sure.
to add. And for all of us that grew up in the 70s and smoked weed and things like that, the one thing you probably not nobody here, obviously, but the interesting thing is that a friend of mine's daughter just died because she was smoking a joint that had fentanyl in it. I mean, it's no longer something that we can avoid. It's endemic.
Right, thank you.
You bet.
Any
And
final
just
comments?
to follow up on the flyer you have, there is a QR code that does lead you to an Eventbrite. We only have the capacity to do our first training for 75 individuals. We'd very much like to host as many of you as possible, so maybe you can secure those first seats, or you can email me and I will secure the first seat for you. Okay? All right.
Thank you.
Can you
Thank-
put me down?
You betcha.
Okay. Thanks very much.
Thank you for your time.
And that completes the comments from members of the public, so we'll move on to reports. First of all, the Associated Students of Solano College presentation tonight.
Yeah, we actually have a student.
Ah, good.
Yeah.
Well, we do have a student trustee as well,
Yes.
but she's the one.
Mhm.
You're the one. And I'm sorry, your name,
My name is Lorelei Collins.
hi.
Yeah. I'm an anthropology major, and I'm also the acting treasurer for the Associated Students of Solano College for the 2024 to 2025 school year. Our college plan is as you guys know, the Civic and Voter Empowerment and Action Plan. So we've sent the final draft. We're really excited about that. And we're having 2 events tomorrow, back to back. If you guys are interested, we're having a Rock the Vote, pretty much a voter fair. So we really, really want to get students registered because we're a part of the ballot bowl. We want to win that grant. We want to get people involved in voting and stuff like that, and local voting, just so like children and young adults just have a better future. We just want people to be informed about what's going on. And then after that, that is from 1 to 3. I'm pretty sure I don't know what time, 1 to 4. And then from 4 to 5:30, we're going to have a debate with the theater. It's called Can Justice Be Bought? And so it's like a mock debate that they're going to be having. So if you guys everyone's invited. If you want to come, you can. It's free. And we're also having pizza at the Rock the Vote voter fair. Another thing that we're going to be working on the rest of the semester after the election and into next semester is trying to form a Black student union. After Imani had to disband for the semester, hopefully we can find an advisor so they don't have to go without Black women don't have to go without a club. Me and another member of the ASSC, we just felt that despite the importance of having a gender-based club for African American students and Black students, I think the only way for us to make change and to collaborate well is if we combine that. So I know that it won't happen by the time that we graduate, but we want to plant the seeds so that students, especially Black students, have a space where they can collaborate, network, talk about things, just have a sense of community. Because I, as a Black student, as a mixed student, I just feel that it's really hard finding a Black community here. So thank you guys. Thanks. Do you have any questions also? Yeah.
Are there any questions? Yes.
First of all, could you explain to people that don't know what the ballot grant is?
Oh yeah, so it's the ballot bowl. It's with colleges. I don't know if it's with UCs and community colleges, or we're just doing one with okay, both? Yeah. Yes, please.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Denise Martinez. I am the advisor for ASSC, And we're working with AJ, our legislative advocate, who is leading all the efforts for civic and voter empowerment. And we are all a part of, we as in all higher education institutions, so private institutions, CSUs, UCs, and community colleges are all competing for getting as many voter registrations as possible on campus. And by doing so, they have to identify with us as an institution. So the competition has been kind of reformed so that colleges are evaluated based on a well-rounded approach at civic engagement. So it's not just competing for the number of voter registrations, because obviously larger institutions or private institutions with a lot more resources are more advantaged, right? So what the Secretary of State Students Vote Project is looking at is the Civic and Voter Empowerment Action Plan, which Lorelei was talking about, that we have already submitted. They're looking at voter registration and voter turnout, in addition to just the whole, the entire civic engagement as a whole. So our college earns a like a point-based system. The higher we score obviously depends on how well our action plan is. And this is the first time that we are doing an action plan that is required by the Secretary of State's office because of Assembly Bill 963. But our goal primarily is to, like Lorelei said, to start and get more voters involved on campus, not just when there's a major election every 4 years, but throughout every school year, and obviously beyond the election, right? So being informed, right? Not just voting. It's about voter education, what resources are available, that sort of thing. So,
Thank you.
yeah,
Thank
you're
you.
welcome.
Thank you. Lorelei, one more question. I was sad to hear about that you find it difficult to find a club here. And I wanted to say that I am speaking on behalf of the whole board. I know that we're all very concerned about being available and helping with situations like this. So keep us in mind if it's a problem finding a teacher to act as, I'm sure we can figure it out.
I'm sure
okay?
too, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're
Thank
very,
you guys.
yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Is it okay? Hi, good evening, President Honeychurch. Just to add into that, and I would love to speak to Lorelei a little bit more as well, because obviously part of our C plan, our student equity plan, has quite a few initiatives and the funding that we've been spending from the Chancellor's Office to support Black students specifically. So we've actually named them specifically, which includes things like our Black Family Barbecue, some of the activities that we've been doing, our launch of our Black Falcon Success Program. So I want to make sure that we connect on that, where we're looking at some high touch and wraparound support services for incoming and continuing Black students. It's the opening of our Black Student Cultural Center in Building 400. There's other things we have kind of planned afoot. It's even things like the shuttle service that we are going to be piloting between Fairfield, Vallejo, and Vacaville campuses starting in spring. And there's a survey out right now to students to sort of get a sense of what their needs are when it comes to transportation and how we might create and curate a route that students can use starting in spring. So there's a couple of things in the works, but obviously open to other suggestions, want to work with students, and our door is open. So let's make sure we also connect. I just wanted to add that in for some context.
Yes,
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
And it's really nice to see a lot of people at the board meeting. Thank you very much for coming, everybody.
So at this point, we'll move on to item 10B, which is the Academic Senate report. So Joshua Scott, professor and president of the Academic Senate.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, lots of exciting things are happening right now. We have just, as a Senate, really spent the last two meetings, the last month, really working on hiring prioritization. The first meeting of these two was where we, along with academic deans, had a chance to talk about our priorities, whether it's looking at our college mission, thinking about our equity plan, looking at numbers, looking at fill rates, looking at the percentage of courses taught by full-time faculty versus part-time faculty. It's a very difficult set of decisions and conversations because really the need is just so great. as we're seeing so many different things happening. But we then, in our last meeting, ranked and prioritized those. So 15 different departments put forward applications to try to see if they could get a new full-time hire. And so now we've ranked those, and we're beginning to work with Dr. Butler to think about how we can, what positions are able to be filled and so on. And we really do have a lot of things going on. One thing that we're going to be doing at our next meeting on Monday is talking about dual enrollment. I've talked about this some with you before. This is part of Vision 2030, right? This vision that all 12th graders will have an opportunity to have completed 12 units by 12th grade in high school. It's a very ambitious vision on the part of the state, and we're really at a local level, right, trying to find out how to do this responsibly. And there's really are like 3 ways we can do it. One is something like early college. Another is where students come into our classes here on campus. And then a third option is where we have teachers teach classes in local high schools. And so over the last month, each school or division has been having some opportunities to talk about this so that we can really think about how we want to do this strategically, how we can really make sure that the courses we're offering are really going to meet the needs of our students and our larger community. And secondly, how we can make sure that we're getting the types of professional development we need in order to do that. These are, again, like big kind of changes, and we want to make sure that we're really looking at it and thinking about it responsibly. We also, I think we probably also talked about AB 1111, right, the Common Course Numbering Initiative, where eventually at least all of our, a pretty good grouping of our transfer courses are going to have common course numbers across the state. And over the period of implementation, this has grown a little bit to be more than just a common course number, but also common learning outcomes, common course descriptions. And this has meant that the half dozen courses that are the first round, those faculty have been really scrambling, working, trying to really do this responsibly, going to professional development opportunities being hosted by the Academic Senate at the state level. And we're really on a fast track. Our curriculum committee has also been working on this to try to get everything completed really within the next few months to get this first piece done at our level as faculty. So, and we'll be doing this over the next couple years with new tranches of classes. But so yeah, a lot's been going on, and a lot of important conversations happening. And that concludes my update. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So,
Sorry, I have another question.
sure.
Questions are good. Yeah, we like questions.
But so the classes that we are thinking about providing college, high school students will, and I know that the difference between getting them here and going to, say, Vallejo, which is what I'm particularly concerned with. But has the chancellor given us an idea of what type of classes we're supposed to provide them with? I mean, is it sort of an open smorgasbord, or are they?
It's pretty open at a local level. I mean, there's definitely, we want to make sure we're offering courses like CTE and these sort of pieces, as well as transfer level courses. But which courses are being offered is something that we should really be thinking about here. Again, the vision, and this is one of these, unfunded mandate sort of visions, right? But the vision is that, again, all students have the opportunity to take classes, but it hasn't been identified which classes specifically. And that's where we're trying to really bring some intention here. And so we're first trying to hear from faculty, but then we're also going to be trying to create task forces and find other ways to make sure we're hearing from the larger community as well.
So when we have, we have our outreach department that goes to Vallejo and other campuses. And the idea is, do they talk about this also? Do they offer the schools?
So we've been offering dual enrollment for many years, right? The new piece here is really the scale and the vision of this, right? Of this as part of Vision 2030. But yeah, so as part of outreach, and maybe someone else could speak to this more as well, but we've certainly been sharing this.
Right. As Josh says, the board has passed a couple of what we call CCAP agreements in previous board meetings. Those are arrangements between our district and our local school districts to allow us to offer closed classes on the high school campuses to meet this need that Josh was talking about. And the CCAP begins with a conversation between the college and the school. We look at what pathways they have in their high school. where there's student interest that maybe even feeds into a pathway here at our college. So those do involve individual conversations with superintendents and principals and faculty at those different schools. So as Josh said, there's a bit of a capacity issue at this point, so we're trying to address that through various methods. The Senate obviously have purview over curriculum and courses and rigor and all that kind of stuff, so we look forward to working with them as we have these further discussions.
So we'll be updated.
Of course.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. This time we'll move on to item 10C, which is the College Governance Council, combined with the superintendent's report, both presented by Dr. Kelly Butler.
Thank you. For the college governance report, we met college governance Wednesday, October 9th. At this meeting, we had a few updates from VP Neely. We had an update on the Vallejo Center, highlighting some of the initiatives that she just recently shared. We talked about the student equity plan related to the Vallejo Center, including piloting the shuttle service in spring 2025 with the survey that's out now to the students, hiring an outreach staff dedicated to the service area with outreach to Black and Brown students. I believe it's closed or very close to closing. Partnering with local nonprofits like Improve Your Tomorrow, which I mentioned in the board retreat, which is an organization committed to serving Black and Brown young men who work with those students from middle school through college, and strengthening the college's relationship with the new superintendent of Vallejo Unified School District, focusing on pathways from high school to college to expose students to college-going opportunities. VP Williams brought a board policy update for Board Policy 2005, participation in local decision-making, and this came back to the College Governance Committee for a vote. There was a unanimous vote on this board policy, and then it will be coming to the board next month. And we had a presentation by a faculty member, STEM faculty member, Com St. Germain, who is the coordinator of the Student Equity and Success Council. He joined the committee and shared student success data and kind of talked through some different ways maybe we could share that data with faculty. For the superintendent update, just a couple things. We're in second 8 weeks enrollment, so we shared an update regarding student headcount is about 9,200 students, with our full-time equivalent student number at about 3,100 students. So we're doing pretty good, and we just want to keep on this trajectory. For facilities update, parking lot 2 is open. So I wanted to make sure to note that with the lights on and with the solar powered chargers connected. So it's been a long time coming. So we're really excited about that. And just to highlight a few events where the trustees have been involved, and I just wanted to highlight. So we had the Solano Challenger Tennis Tournament that was taking place here on campus from Sunday, October 6th to Sunday, October 13th. And during that time, we hosted the staff and faculty luncheon. We had several trustees join us, Trustees Kara, Trustees Thurston, Trustee Young, and I believe Trustee Kara got to go to the tennis tournament. We had free wristbands, and staff and faculty were also able to have access to the tournament during those times. We held a lovely ribbon cutting for the early childhood facility. We will be voting tonight on the naming, and Trustees Cargo Reed, Trustee Kara, Trustee Lopez Lara, Trustee Thurston, Trustee Voice, and Trustee Young attended the ribbon cutting. And it was really a full circle moment because we had a student present who started as a toddler who was now teaching at the facility. So it was really exciting. This week, just really quickly, we want to just highlight that we're recognizing Undocumented Student Action Week. supporting our undocumented students, our DACA and AB 540 eligible students, and students of mixed status families in their educational journeys. We have several activities that have taken place on campus, and then we're also promoting activities through the State Chancellor's Office that are available just to educate our students, educate our faculty, staff, and our community. And then we also held last night the 52nd Annual Scholarship Awards presentation, where both the Solano Community College Scholarship Fund and the Solano Community College Educational Foundation awarded over 166 scholarships, totaling a remarkable $118,000. And it was really a beautiful event. I really just thank you guys for attending. So Trustees Cargo Reed, Trustee Kara, Trustee Thurston, Trustee Voice, and Trustee Young were in attendance and got to witness that beautiful event, supporting our students and just showing that we're committed to their potential. And lastly, today, we did not host a ribbon cutting for the quad, but we did have an event, Fiesta on the Quad today. Many of our administrators and some of the faculty in the room were involved in this, and I just want to highlight that it was a great event. Deans Jose Cortez and Neil Glines cooked over 100 pounds of meat to serve tacos free to our students, and they had a blast. So it was a sight to see. I'll share photos in our weekly report, but that's all I have.
All right, thanks very much for your report.
I just want to say, sometimes, job descriptions say and all other duties. I think you didn't know you're going to be cooking 100 pounds of meat, huh?
All right, so we'll move on to item 11, which is the consent agenda. All matters listed under the consent agenda are considered by the board to be routine and will be enacted by the board in one motion. There's no discussion on these items prior to the time the board votes on the motion unless members of the board, staff, or the public request specific items to be discussed and or removed. Time will be provided before the vote for clarification questions without removing an item from the consent agenda. So is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I move that we approve the consent agenda.
All right, thank you.
I'll second that.
Been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Consent agenda is approved. There were no items removed, so it brings us to item 13, which is non-consent agenda items, action items. The first of which is presented by our Superintendent President, Kelly Butler, approval of space room naming nomination.
So this is the naming that I shared. We introduced it last month or earlier this month. At our last board meeting for Jawan Vartanian, which many of you got to meet at the ribbon cutting, but just highlighting the efforts of her work and the impact of her work, both here locally at the college. We were able to see the facility, but then also beyond the college, even internationally, where her curriculum and pedagogy is being taught across the world. So I want to move this and ask the board to approve the naming of the Early Childhood Center for Jawan Vartanian.
So is there a motion to approve the
I move that we approve item 13A.
I'll second.
All right, so moved and seconded to approve the room naming nomination of Jawan Vartanian as presented. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries, and congratulations to her. So the next matter is Human Resources. Sal Abadi is the presenter. It's a resignation to retire. Go ahead, Mr. Abadi.
Good evening, President Honey Church, members of the board. We do have a speaker in the audience that will be talking on the retirement for Professor Karen Cook, but I do want to take the opportunity to speak on her retirement, as I have had the privilege to work with her for many years in many different roles here on campus. I've also had the opportunity to take many of her classes. My 11-year-old son has taken many of her classes, and her passion for her program is only outweighed by her passion for her students. and she is going to be a huge loss to the college when she chooses to move into the next phase of her life. But I know that all of the great work that she's done will continue to live on here at the college. So with that, I would like to ask Professor Erica Beam, who is our accounting instructor, to come up and read some notes prepared by the other faculty members.
Good evening, Board of Trustees, Superintendent President Butler. It is with great privilege that I'm here tonight to speak in honor of Karen Cook. I met Karen at my first semester at Solano 9 years ago at our pre-semester school meeting. I learned very quickly that her no-nonsense, say what you mean, and get it done approach was not just talk in a meeting, but her way of doing what is best for students, faculty, and Solano College. Professor James DeClos remembers Karen came to Solano and inherited an old-fashioned drafting program. I remember when I started at the college, our drafting department still used a drafting board, T-squares, pencils of various hardness. This program had been slow to modernize. Karen arrived to bring it up to date by crafting a robust curriculum that included the latest innovations in computer-aided design. As a new faculty member, I was welcomed in by Karen. Welcome to join in the work and help facilitate the largest CTE community employer-focused event held at Solano College. We've been great colleagues and friends ever since. I'm not alone in this sentiment. Instructor Doug Green shared, I'd like to publicly thank Karen for all she has done for me, the drafting, makerspace, and advanced manufacturing programs. She has been my unofficial mentor since I started here. She blazed a trail to think creatively, to bring a new program like the Makerspace to life, a program that has inspired me, other faculty, and most of all, students. Instructor Andreas Kaiser shared, Karen is a true visionary. She takes her dreams and ideas and works tirelessly to make them into a reality. The Solano College Makerspace is just one of the many legacies she leaves the community. I have had the opportunity to witness firsthand the joy of making that has been gifted to so many. From the 10-year-old showing her mom how to use a 3D printer, to the retired professional finally taking time to pursue his interest in electronics. So many have benefited from the magic of the Makerspace and the maker classes that Karen pioneered. There's not a role Karen takes on that has not centered students, faculty, and the greater Solano Community College. Dean Jose Cortez shared, I have watched her work at outreach events, and she always provides prospective students with high interest and interactive demonstrations of the curriculum that these programs have to offer. These hands-on activities not only capture students' interest, but they are the first steps at introducing them to the skills that will build future career opportunities in drafting and manufacturing. Karen has served as the sole full-time faculty member in the drafting program for her entire 20-year career at Solano College. DeClos also shared, Karen has been a true team player and a pleasure to be around for the students and for her colleagues. She was chosen by the Academic Senate as a distinguished faculty member in 2021. Professor Aaron Farmer shared, Solano College Faculty Association will miss our brave and creative organizer, whose legendary campaign includes We Honor Ours, an award-winning project celebrating individual faculty and staff members, and as well as the notorious and notoriously effective program Graveyard Sign Project, protesting program cuts and unfair bargaining practices during a difficult time years ago. Her work with the union is one among many of her contributions to Solano College over the course of her career, and illustrates that rare and admirable quality of being all in when it comes to promoting what she believes in, whether it is labor justice, her student success, or quality CTE programs. It has meant so much to me to serve with her many years in the union work, and she can be sure I will continue to consult with her for creative organizing plans, should they be needed. I will miss our late night Zoom sessions, brainstorming bargaining ideas, checking the spreadsheet formulas to make sure they're correct, and friendly banter about what's coming next. But I look forward to seeing pictures from her travels around the world on her bicycle with her canine friend in tow. Professor Erin Farmer sums it up best when she says, Karen is truly irreplaceable, but her most fervent desire is to be replaced by a full-time hire to continue to support the amazing program she built. Thank you.
Thanks very much for those kind words. So, has there been a motion? No. So is there a motion to approve the retirement?
So I'll make a motion with a brief comment after it's been seconded. May I make a brief comment?
Sure.
I just wanted to also extend our appreciation. You've not only spearheaded and kept a passion that has driven what we do, right? You've made the makerspace a reality and brought it to our attention that the perfect way that we could be using this bond to support that. But then also you would bring us things like, so you like made stuff for us and kept us, it real to us, not just a concept somewhere on campus, but it's something, very cool things that you've got a chance to do. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yes. Thanks, Trustee Thurston, Trustee Boyce, and congratulations. So at this time, I can't remember, have we done them? Has it been approved?
We didn't approve it.
That's what I thought. So all those in favor of approval of the retirement, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations. All right. Thank you. So with this, we'll move on to item 13C, which is presented by Lucky Lofton. It's a contract amendment number 2 to HBI inspections for time extension for services on the Fairfield campus. So, Mr. Lofton, are you presenting this?
Yes, sir. Thank you, President Honeychurch, members of the board. This is a time extension, as it says, for inspection services. Our DSA inspection is required on all of our projects. The project has been extended, and there's been some additional items that have been found during the project that has required additional time from our inspectors. This is actually pretty common on our projects with inspection services.
So is there a motion to approve the contract amendment?
Sure, I'll make a motion that will open up some discussion on many of these are pretty routine. May I make a motion for item 13C, D, E, F, G, H, I, and J. It's a different, the other ones are a different topic. So I'll stop at the bond and have a bond discussion.
So it's, just for clarification, it's C, D, E, F?
G, H, I, J.
G, H, I, J. All right.
C to J. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, all the letters between C and J, but not, yeah.
All right, so is there a second?
I second the motion.
It's been moved and seconded to approve these change orders. All those in favor, please say
Okay,
aye.
could we have a discussion too?
Oh, we know, we're not having any discussion. Of course we can have discussion. I just wondered why you made the motion if you want. Go ahead.
Sure. I did have a discussion on, a question on item 13H. This is a pretty significant increase to building 300. It makes sense to me. It sounds like there's some asbestos, additional asbestos removal. I was just curious about if this impacts the timeline for this project.
No. So currently, this doesn't appear to extend the timeline for the project for that particular building 300. So I appreciate the question. It's just additional scope that we're dealing with.
Thank you for dealing with it. I know it's dealing with old buildings mean lots of things are going to come up. So thank you for dealing with those.
Any other questions on the change orders? If not, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? The motions are carried. Thank you. Which brings us to K, correct? Which is an agreement with Hyundai Motor America for use of learning management services. David Williams is the presenter.
Thank you, President Honeychurch and members of the board. You may have remembered a couple of agreements that have come to already through aeronautics and auto tech, where we have arrangements with companies to help train our students on equipment that they will see when they enter the workforce. This is another such agreement with Hyundai Corporation to allow us access to their their unique training materials for their vehicles. This will help our students be better prepared as they enter the workforce. So we're asking for your approval. This is a no-cost agreement to allow us to use their training materials.
All right, thank you. Is there a motion to approve the agreement?
I'll make a motion.
Yes. So is there a second?
Yes, I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the agreement with Hyundai Motor America. Any further questions, comments? If not, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Thank you, Vice President Williams. Next item is L. It's presented by Vice President Lisa Neely. It's a contract renewal for child development services, the California State Preschool Program.
Yes, thank you, President Honeychurch, members of the board. So yes, to be considered for continued funding for fiscal year 25-26, we must submit a continued funding application. So essentially, this is an annual request, and this is for confirmed funding, continued funding from CPSS to the tune of approximately $758,000. For our preschool age children, that allows us to serve approximately 68 children, and that also 5% of that funding is reserved for students with any additional learning needs. So this is a regular renewal process that we go through with a very valuable partner in terms of our funding. And we ask the board for approval. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice President Neely. Is there a motion to approve the contract renewal for child development services?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Is there a second? Any questions? No? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is item 14, information items. There are no items on this agenda item. We'll move on to announcements. Are there any announcements? Trustee
Sure.
Boyce?
I wanted to publicly congratulate a couple of our departments. Our theater department received 18 Artie nominations. Arties are a local theater competition award, thing, and all across the board through acting, stage design, directing, all kinds of different things. So congratulations to our theater department for 18 nominations. That's pretty stellar for their last season. And then our dance department, also headed up by Ginger Kane, also received a grant for a dance festival on campus, and so I'm looking forward to that. So she won this grant for this, so that's great. Congrats to both.
All right, thanks. Thanks for bringing that to our attention, really. So, any other announcements? Oh, sorry. I didn't see your pencil.
No problem. I just wanted to thank everybody involved in the early childhood facility. It was amazing. I can't tell you how impressive it was. I felt like I was in Singapore and not in America, to tell you the truth. It was just amazing. And what I found particularly sad to know is that there's a long waiting list. And I know that they were talking about how the success of a lot of our students, if they have their children in an early childhood facility, is almost guaranteed. And I just wanted to say that that's just what a wonderful project. And I hope that we work towards maybe giving more people options to have their kids there, our staff as well, I mean, everybody, and in the other campuses too. Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Yes, that was a beautiful center. We were honored to be a part of the opening or the ribbon cutting. The food as well was a work of art. So thank you to everyone who was involved in that beautiful display, and delicious as well. Also, yes, the early child care center has been very important, especially for the parents who really, depend on it and their kids. When I went and seen the toys, their quality, they're going to last for probably decades because, there was no corners that were cut. So it really is an investment, and it's an important investment. This is our, our students and the future students. So anything that we can possibly help with, we'd love to have it come back. And we're just very grateful and appreciative of this program. So thank you.
All right.
Yeah, I have a question. Do we have any idea as the young kids have gone through that early childhood program, have grown up, and then when they get out of high school have come here to Solano College as students? Do we have any data on that?
No, we don't have data on that. I think it was mentioned at the ribbon cutting that was something that Tony Ayala was interested in asking the research office to start to collect.
Right, that'd be interesting.
Lisa has.
It's interesting because they did note that one of the folks who started off as a toddler in the program has come back and now is a teacher. And actually, I don't know if for those who were there, I think most of the current staff right now, which includes the specialist, are ex-Solano or Solano College graduates. So there's a really strong trajectory there of folks who have a long-term commitment to the program. I agree. Sabrina's been there over 20 years. Obviously, Joanne Bartanian and all of the things that have been able to do. It's a really prized possession of the college, and we're always looking creatively for ways, but I think because of some of the funding, it's a needs-based program as well. But I think we're certainly alert to the fact of making sure that students really understand there's a resource there, as well as employees. A lot of employees, children have been kind of shepherded and cared for through that program, so it's a huge vital resource for the college. So I'm excited to see now that the expanded space, we can serve more students, more children.
My 15-year-old daughter went there. It was fantastic. Seeing her get pulled around in the wagons and everything. And it's a really exceptional program.
Yeah,
it is.
Makes a huge difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, thanks everyone for commenting on that. And I'll just, sorry, go ahead. Okay, we have items from the board next on this. But I'll just say that I replaced a trustee who voted against having a child development program. Okay, and that was in 1985. So for 40 years, we have had this program, and I've supported it the whole time. Just a note. Yeah. So
I guess I was part of that too.
I'll call in our student trustee. We're now on items from the board and announcements, I guess.
Yeah, well, first want to congratulate everyone on that. I think it was really awesome to see that kind of community built in that area. Unfortunately, I was busy with a class at that time, so I couldn't make it. But I was really happy to hear good thoughts from the board and from community members. But the announcements that I was bringing to the board were three. The first one was, I know that we had our ASSC representative come as our treasurer, talk about the amazing work that we're doing here on this campus. This is the first time that that I have seen at least, a really, really passionate Senate, really wanting to make dramatic change, especially during an election cycle this year. And to see the kind of camaraderie and collaboration that I've been seeing has just been really eye-opening, and I'm really passionate to see that. We've actually had people come to our public comment at ASSC, which is really exciting to see, and seeing even students who can't make it as a senator be able to still bring in their voice. And we encourage students to continue doing that, and we encourage the board trustees as well to come in and join into the ASSC meetings as well, if you have just maybe once a year, just to see how we kind of operate, if that is something that you guys can do. I know Dr. Butler has been coming to our meetings, and that has been amazing given her busy schedule, and I am just so in awe to see that. Now, the next thing was obviously the scholarship event. I think that was incredible to see. It was the first one that I ever attended. I was also received one, but what I really want to stress is that having our faculty, having everybody continue to outreach whenever we have these kinds of opportunities for students to, receive. I applied for it because I saw it on Canvas, so Canvas is doing a great job of that, but it's really important for us to do word of mouth as well, to reach the students who don't have that extra time to click on an extra link on Canvas and need that verbal explanation to, access these resources. And then my third and final one is that today the Reproductive Health Club held their Period Action Day, which is a national event that's held across the world. And we celebrated our win of AB 2229, which you guys were pivotal in. But what was really exciting was seeing the shift in conversation on this campus when a year ago from today, students were scared to say the word period, and today students are able to come up and draw what they think a period looks like and ask what they want to see on the period curriculum. And I think that has just been really exciting to see throughout this entire year. So yeah, that's the end of my announcements, but thank you, everybody.
All right, thanks for those comments.
Ask for the dates of your meetings that you've invited attend and the times? Because I'm sure we'd all like to come.
Yeah, for sure. So they are from Tuesdays every week in the ASSC conference room, which is in the cafeteria, from 12:30 to 2.
Every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. At this time, we'll move, excuse me, we'll move on to item 20, which is adjournment. Is there, been moved and seconded to adjourn the meeting. All those in favor, please say aye. Opposed, motion carries. So we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for coming.
7:55, Dennis, 5 minutes to.
We